And I just wanted to do this here tonight because I've added a new feature, and it's a callback feature, speak to the owner line. And I added that a few weeks ago, and never expecting that I would be this busy with it. So I've been multitasking. I'm pretty good at multitasking. And the cool part about Get Fearless Freedom is you can bring people into the Facebook group. You can bring them into your sales funnel. They'll get the information. They can listen to the 7-minute video. If they have any questions after that, they can call me. Okay, they can call me. They can speak to me. And that's one of the reasons why I think we've had a $3,000 day already. And so congratulations to Tony, congratulations to Mary Beth, congratulations to Rob. There's people that are absolutely exploding this, and it's because of one thing. It's a simple system, you know? And the thing about it is it's tools, it's picks and shovels, and I've been doing this for 12 years, and I can do it in my sleep. I think I actually do it in my sleep. I'm like, okay, let's post up a Craigslist ad. Let's run a solo ad. So I'm always driving traffic to my website, okay? So when I started this in 2019, I thought, all right, it's going to be different. It's not going to be the same old PLR product. What is a PLR product? Just means that it's a back office with just a bunch of stuff and there's no value. So I wanted GFF to be different. I wanted it to have my training. I wanted it to have my son's training. And in fact, we're going to have more leaders trainings back there as we go. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to show you guys how simple this is. It's a 4-step system. That is it. Most of the time, people are complicating this process, okay? And so just like anything, there's a process, okay? And just so that it shows on my, let's see, I just got to X my, okay, talking with Rob before this, okay? So again, 3-step process, okay? And so you can generate a lead, obviously, with Facebook. A lot of people are doing that right now. And then you send them to a simple capture page. Okay, what is a capture page? A capture page, squeeze page, landing page, whatever you want to call it. People are going to the website and you collect an email address. Okay, so we're email collectors. That's what we do. In order for me to follow up with them by email, that's all we're doing is we're just collecting an email. Okay. Now, this is not network marketing. I want a lot of people to understand this is not network marketing, not MLM. You don't have to bug your family and friends. In fact, I've talked to 5 people today already. It says, Tammy, if this is network marketing, I don't want anything to do with it. Just relax. It's not network marketing. In fact, you never have to speak to a soul. Okay. I'm going to show you the system in the funnel that has put close to 197,000. I think it just crossed over 199, something like that, since I relaunched it in 2023. So it's absolutely possible. I do Zooms, yes, but I'm most of the time just driving traffic. Seriously, it's that simple. So you can take a 30-minute time period. You can take an hour, whatever it is, but you know, that's all you have to do. So I'm going to show you the website. Okay, everybody has a Facebook account, right? Most people nowadays. And so you can get a lot of free traffic and you can do paid traffic. I do a combination of the both. Okay, as you can tell, I'm not a scripted person. This is a different Zoom tonight. Rob's even going to ask me some questions here tonight. But this is the actual page that I'm using and I can update it on the fly. Now, I needed to have a system like that. Okay, because I didn't want a static page, and there's a lot of other systems. I'm not going to name names, but there's a lot of other systems that have static pages, meaning you can't update them on the fly. This is very easy to update. Okay, you just log into your back office of GFF, okay, and you can update them. So I'll show you guys how I can do that too. So Rob, are you able to see everybody coming on? So we got a lot of people joining here tonight. Just want to make sure. So does everybody see my page okay? So simply, they enter their email address. So they see a post of mine, which we have images, okay? Close your sales, make $500, $1,000, and they respond to your Facebook post, or they respond to a Craigslist ad, or possibly an actual offline ad. This is one of our live ones happening right now. Like right now, literally live. And I get opt-ins, okay? We do co-ops, and I get opt-ins, and they click this page. I'll show you. I have all these emails coming in. These are emails from my members, of course, but then I have what they call opt-ins. So people right now, while I'm talking to everybody here, talk about multitasking, I don't have to speak to anybody. But while I'm doing a Zoom, I'm getting people to look at my page. Isn't that cool? So they're going to an ad. Does anyone ever pick up a newspaper? Has anyone ever picked up a newspaper in their life? Yeah, put a 1 if you've ever read a newspaper. I know this is kind of simple stuff, but this is how simple it is. Have you ever gone on Facebook? Put a 7 if you've ever logged on to Facebook. Yeah, it's not hard so far, is it? And have you ever listened to a video online? Yeah, we all have. So we've put it together here, you know, and so when we relaunched GFF in 2023, I was like, phew, my gosh, we can help anyone. So the versatility of GFF is phenomenal, okay? So it doesn't matter what opportunity you're in, you can actually work this as on the side or maybe as your main gig. A lot of people here with me are working it as their main gig. And then they're helping the people that have an opportunity online. And you want to know how that happens? It's because the sales funnels with GFF can be used for any opportunity. So you name it, right? So this year alone, I think I've seen, see, one person on their list, they've sent out 7 different offers. 7 offers. So you're never going to run out of leads. It's never going to be saturated. GFF will never be saturated. Okay. It's pretty cool, isn't it? So you can actually post an ad. You can drive them right to your capture page. Have I talked to anybody yet after I place that ad? Absolutely not. They go here, or they can even call the hotline. Okay, I call it the speak to the owner hotline. This is not a call center, none of that. It's me. It's me. It's my son, and it's another person right now helping me out. Okay, she's doing a phenomenal job. So we're doing that. We're going to expand. The busier, I know how to expand if anyone ever wonders. Well, I've owned a mortgage broker business, my husband and I, when I was in my 40s. And no, actually, that was the restaurant stage. Okay, let's back up to my 30s. I've actually owned restaurants, 2 Mexican restaurants as well. So I'm in my 50s and I just love my online business. There's no overhead. I don't have employees and I can drive as much traffic as I want because the system's never going to break. I mean, I can literally get 100 to 200 people coming into my sales funnel every day, automatically, you know? So when I talk about, you know, lead generation, I really love lead generation. Lead generation has been my life. I've marketed for my husband's mortgage broker business. I've marketed for other top tier companies before. I've spoke on stage. A little frightened about that, but I did it. You know, I got out of my shell. So in the 12 years I've been doing this, it's very simple. You post an image or you post something that's curiosity based, right? To get the person to say, oh my gosh, I want to check this out, right? And so from there, you know, we have the call to action. What's the call to action? Right here. They go to your website. And then what's the call to action after that is they're calling the number, right? So this is how I'm closing sales. I'm actually picking up the phone most of the time on the phone and just saying, hey, you have questions? You know, I got answers. And that's it. That's how simple this is. So now how can you make money with this? It's simple. You come in, you fit in where you know, where you want to, and $200, $500, or $1,000. And it's nice to have $1,000 days. And so that's where we get the, you know, potential of the 182,000 a year. Again, I want to state also income claims here. I'm not here to state income claims. You can't do that in the home-based business industry. In fact, Rob has it on a really, really good format on Monday Zooms. Okay. But we can't state any income claims. The 3 people that I actually helped join on today, one of Mary Beth's, he had a very good question, you know, like, how much money can I make? My question is always, how much do you want to make? Because the more exposure you have for your business, the more money you're going to make. And again, you never have to tell, sell, or explain this business. I do it for you. Okay. On the 7-minute video. Now, who's watched the 7-minute video on here? That's a guest of ours. Who's watched it? That's a guest of ours. And we have a lot of guests. Who's watched it? If you want to put and just raise your hand or put a 2 in there or a Y. Okay, cool. All right, cool. And Bob is on here. Bob, did you get my email, by the way? Congrats on your sale. I just always want to make sure. Can you just reply to the email that I sent you yesterday? You didn't get the email? Oh, strange. You made a $200 sale, correct? Okay. You got paid? Not yet. Okay. Well, see, this is the thing. As an owner, I see people making sales, but if you make a sale, just shoot me a real quick message or a text saying, hey, Tammy, I got paid. All right. So that's how simple it is. And I'll show you guys the details on that. So as a company owner, as this membership, grows, I'll have sometimes people will say, well, they're going to get to me in a day or two. Right. So from the time that I see someone joining, okay, so let's say they respond to an ad. Let's say they listen to a 7-minute video. All right, let's just show the process again. 7-minute video. This is happens to be my branded page, bridge page. That was when I was blonde. I decided to change my hair again. I do that all the time. Hey, women can change our minds, right? So anyway, they go to the, right, Chris? Yeah, you got your hair cut too. It looks cute. I love it short like that, by the way. It's sweet. So they go to the 7-minute video. They listen to the video all the way to the end. And believe it or not, there's a little bonus carrot at the end of that video. So if you are on here tonight and you want me to run some of your traffic, you can get 100 clicks, which is 100 visitors, for only $75. It's actually at the end of this video here. So they join it. Does this look familiar to anybody? They pick their level, the registration, and then once they join, they get the digital product. I love digital products. We don't have to ship anything out to anybody. We don't have to send anybody anything. They get an automated email from here, from this process. So can you see why in the past couple of weeks, while I was taking care of family matters, how my business could run without me? Literally can run without me, So if you have a family emergency, you have a person that's sick, you have a person that needs your assistance in life. Life is too short. You got to have a system that's automated that can be there and do this for you, whether you're here or you're not. And that's what I wanted when I set up the system back in 2019. And I've used it for many, many offers. But now I've been teaching people how I use Get Fearless Freedom and how I've ranked to leaderboards with it, So I've planted my flag here. And now ever since that, people are just having explosive growth and they're having great, great results. You know what I mean? So that's exactly what happens. They register here. You get an automated email into your inbox, just like Tony did tonight for 1,000, like Mary Beth did for 500, and Rob did for 1,000. And they get, wow, just got a sale, right? Happens all the time. So whether they come through automated, right? They might come through automated through an ad, or they might come through and I might assist. Okay. Now this is the cool part. If I'm closing a sale on Facebook and I'm doing 3-way messages, which I've done a lot for people, okay, I've been doing this a lot, and I'll kind of even show you this, okay, on Facebook, it works really cool. That messenger thing in your Facebook, that little annoying thing, that can make you money, actually can make you money if you use it correctly, okay? We got some people on here. We got to mute out. Let's just mute. All right, Mr. Delroy in the UK, how are you? Okay, so we got people from all around the world, which is super cool. But yeah, that little annoying messenger that pops up all the time and you got friends messaging you and things like that, it's actually a pretty cool tool. I close sales with that, okay? I don't train in Messenger. I don't teach in Messenger. I close sales. That's what I do. I close sales for you. So I assisted Mary Beth. Most of the time, people just want to make sure that we're real. Most of the time, people just want to see that little extra transparency, That's why I decided, you know what, I'm going to jump on the Zoom here tonight. So we don't normally do 2 Zooms in a week. Rob did one on Monday. It was phenomenal, I heard. And so I thought, well, let's do a blitz Zoom here tonight. So anyone have any questions up to date, up so far? You like the process? It can literally be something running in the background, while you're working, while you're, like I said, taking care of your family. One of my very close friends, I call her, her nickname is BFF on here, and she is my BFF. Terry, she takes care of her 101-year-old mother, and she just made $1,000 sale. It is actually such a blessing when I hear people making $1,000 sales, because that's really life-changing. Honestly, that's very life-changing. You get 5 of those in a month, $5 grand. You know, most people, when I ask them, well, how much money is it going to take you to become free and out of that job? Most of the time people will come to me and say 10,000. For some reason, it's always 10,000. Man, can you think of that? And when we were just listening to Elvis, if we would have thought that we were going to need to make $10,000 in 2024, we would have said, get lost. Are you kidding me? What do you mean we got to make $10,000? What's the price of houses, right? I mean, back then we couldn't even think of it. We had no we couldn't imagine it that far, right? That much, right? But nowadays it's about $10,000 is what most comfortable Americans, and of course, I'm sorry, I have to include worldwide because we have people from Sydney. It says Sue from Sydney, Australia, and of course Dalroy over in the UK. Who else do we have from the worldwide? I don't know about your prices over there, but our prices are always skyrocketing around here. You know, we got John in Hawaii. Hawaii, man, when I visited that, mahalo, by the way, John. When I went over to Hawaii, I'm telling you, that's an expensive you know, island. Oahu, or was it the big island we went to? And we took the kids. That was when Bob turned 40. But anyway, so tonight is a show. I'm going to show you how I close the sales, right? So super simple. So anyone can post an ad, anyone can post an image. Is anyone on here afraid of making money? Because I just got to ask. Is anyone afraid of it? Because I can help you become unafraid. I used to be afraid when I was like 20. And then I thought, oh my God, there's these bills coming in, you know. Then I got over that. But if you're afraid of making money online, it's really not that. It's not scary. That's why we call ourselves the Fearless Crew. And I'm the Fearless Mama. But it's very simple. Because you're sharing a valuable cash flow to that person, right? So number one, you have to have belief to get over that fear, okay? You have to have belief in yourself. You have to have belief in me, in the community, okay? So anyway, you go over here. You're going to be, you know, creating your account, register once you join. You're going to get the instructions. And then I'll also show you, like I said, some of the images that we have. There's a 800... You can even have one. You can even grab one if you want. It's called 800link.com. I've used Sizzle Messages for a lot of different companies, but I just log in and I go and I check my account and I say, let's see who's called in to talk to me today. Okay. I load my little account up here and then I check the actual call records. So in February, we've had like over 52 people calling in. So you can see how transparent I am actually. It's not really much that I keep secrets on. So the little envelope just means that someone's left me a message and then I call them back up. See how that works? So there's nothing scary about it so far, is there? Because you've never had to talk to anybody. Now, if you do like talking to people, that's cool too. There's some people on here that like to talk to people. I figure that if you don't make connections in your life, it could actually, how can I say this? 3 weeks ago, if I didn't know a lady, I won't talk about it. It's too hard. But that's how I essentially got my husband to the hospital, because I knew a lady that knew a lady. So if you're worried or you're fearful in life, got to get over that, because it actually could be life-saving to someone that you love, you know? And money is really like oxygen. Money is like oxygen, and you need it in everyday life, you know? So that's why you got to get over your fear of online marketing and getting over your fear of joining us in the Get Fearless Freedom movement. Because we're here, we can assist you along the way. I close your sales. My gosh, I forgot about the email portal. I'm going to explain the email portal, but I follow up. So I'm trying to remember, it was Mary Beth's sale today. He had asked me, do I follow up with leads? So you know those other systems that they make you put on all the autoresponders on your own and manually? Does anyone have to do that currently with the business they're in? If so, type Y, type yes. And of course, I'm talking to an audience tonight that has possibly already joined a system before, and you're taking a look at Get Fearless Freedom. So I'll show you something. So you see the call numbers coming in, right? I'll show you something. In the back office of GFF, let me close the windows down. So I go in there. This is my portal. Go in here. This is my admin portal. It looks different than yours. This is the done for you emails. How does someone know what the 800 number is? Because I get that question a lot. Well, they got to listen to a 7-minute video first before they call me. I even say it on the 800 number. Hey, have you listened to a 7-minute video? You know, and if you have, great. What's your question? You know, that type of thing on the 800 number. But I go in here and I send out, see all these? These are like my actual titles that I've sent out. Now, understand something. I've sent out over 300 and some emails in a year. I think it's been right around a year, hasn't it now, Rob, since we relaunched the platform? So you see how many emails I've been sending? I think I've sent out over 100,000 emails. I'm talking about to people. You know what I mean? We got solo ad people. We got people that are now even on here that love running solo ads, for example. You know, getting a person to get onto your list from their list. Okay. So we have solo ad providers. I can get up to 2,500 leads, or excuse me, clicks a day. They call them clicks in the solo ad community. So if you want to run solo ads, like I just reverse back to the current, you know, conversations I had today, for example, and he said, hey, I want to do $50 a week. Great. That's a great budget to set aside. Now, me personally, I would mix a little bit of Craigslist in there. I would put a little bit of YouTube videos in there because I love YouTube. By the way, it's my favorite lead generation strategy, but not everybody likes to do videos. I like to do videos. It's made me millions of dollars videos. They have. So anyway, they're going to get, like you got tonight, to get onto the Zoom. So they're going to get an email. And within that email, as you can see, they can jump on the Zoom tonight. They can click to join right away, or they can call me right here on the hotline. And everybody will have an ID. So get on your own list. Okay. Once you get set up, it's very easy to get set up. It's like 10 minutes. Okay. In the back, you get on your own list. I have a little ID, you know, right here where I put it in. So I have sent this one out. I put it 5 minutes till showtime. And then I have my little where I can put the ID of your ID, your website. That's how everybody's tied. And if you've noticed, I'm not sure if you've quite seen, like in the Facebook group, if you're in our private Facebook group, it's got like almost 2,500 people in there. I'm always asking, who brought you in? For some reason, the questions aren't being answered. So then I have to go back to the sponsor. Hey, do you have that? And, you know, so if you are coming into our Facebook group right here and you are coming in there, you know, ask the person for their website so you can get their ID. Okay. So if you're calling in, I'll have the ID because if it's Mary Beth or Rob or Tony or, you know, Terry, I'll just say, oh yeah, what's your ID number? You know, if they call the 800 number. So everybody has an ID, which is super cool. It doesn't go by name because I do have a lot of Kevins. I have a couple Tonys. So sometimes people will just say, Tony sent me, oh, which Tony, you know? I don't think we have many Mary Beths. So, but that's how we find out. So it's really fun. It's a lot of fun. We have a great time and, you know, it's a really great business. It's a great system. So it's very, very simple to get set up. Does anyone have any questions? I know Rob and I were going to chit chat back and forth a little bit. I'm just looking at a couple personal, I'm just trying to make sure I get a couple personal questions sent to me. As far as traffic, because I always get this, it's actually the #1 question I've ever had online. Did you know that? #1. Well, besides the fact that how long have you had Get Fearless Freedom? So it's since 2019. But to get traffic, it's not hard. It just really depends on what you want to do. Do you want to do social media? Some people don't want to do social media. Do you want to do offline ads, newspaper ads? Do you want to do YouTube videos? I mean, YouTube videos, again, I'm going to talk about the 1,000 level. Let's do that. Let's talk about the 1,000 level, Rob, because that's actually the most popular. Let's go to my page real quickly, and I'll show you some other neat things back there. I always like to show people the behind the scenes, the back office that they're going to get, because we have a lot of masterminds back there. Okay. By the way, if you've gotten invited here to the Zoom and you haven't reviewed the sales page. It's a really nice sales page. We added this year too. I'm always working on conversions. That's just me. So we added the 20-minute video with our members. And then this is the 1,000 level right here. Okay. So what are you going to get with the 1,000 level? Well, you're going to get access to the mastermind, which is coming up at the end of the month. Okay. So you have enough time to make sure you're at the 1,000. So you think this is informative? Wait till I actually teach you how to market and advertise. Okay. And I have 35 years of experience and 12 years in this industry. Okay. So you're going to get mindset, which is really, believe it or not, most of the questions are coming in because of mindset. So we have the going beyond your limits. I suggest going through it. Do you have a great support system? I do personally. I have a phenomenal husband. I have a phenomenal son, daughter, and my daughter's boyfriend is actually very supportive, and he knows what I do. So if you have a great support system at home, that's great. It's still good to listen to it, but I'm saying, you know, if you're going to be helping people and taking time out of your day, you know, make sure that you let your family know. You know, I'm going to be tied up for an hour. I'm going to go to the Zoom. I'm going to learn how to do this. I'm going to take the time to learn how to create 5 and 6 figures for our family, you know? So it's really, really important. Overcoming setbacks. We all have them. Okay. We all have setbacks. It's just part of life. How do you get past that and through that? I have to work on it all the time myself daily, you know? Positive self-talk. You know, if we actually said to one another what was actually gone through our minds today about ourselves, they'd probably think we're all kind of cuckoo, right? Dave, I caught you. So, so it's literally important, right? To feed your mind with self-talk, you know, motivated, positive self-talk, you know? And it's just the truth. You know, unfortunately, as we get older, we get those filing cabinets that get kind of like clogged up, you know, and we just have to kind of get rid of some of that stuff. Or maybe someone said something wrong to you today. You know, maybe someone said something wrong to you on the internet or on social media. Geez, don't fight with someone on a glass screen. It's no big deal. You know what I mean? So anyway, we're living in a time where there's a lot of overwhelm, you know? So make sure you're always focused on yourself. Make sure you're always focused on lead generation. Do something fun for yourself. So there's literally a lot of motivational talk back there, and we do a lot of that in the masterminds. So the other part of the 1,000 level that I love so much is, again, YouTube. Okay, I'm going to show you guys my YouTube channel. You don't have to have a lot of subscribers. All right, you don't. In fact, you can see who I like to listen to. Elvis. But and the 80s, of course. I love 80s. But this is my YouTube channel. So anytime, let's say we did the Monday Zoom, I just posted it up. Okay. I did Rob, I put that up. Okay. You can have access to the computer, right here. You can have access to them and put them on your channel, because it's really fun waking up to opt-ins and sales from your YouTube channel. See how I have it? And it's all in the back office. I teach you back here, okay? It seriously is. It's all in the back office right here underneath the YouTube success, step by step. If you haven't gone through that training, go through the training. I'll have Mary Beth talk on that here tonight. She loves it. She gets a lot of sales from YouTube. Right here, it's a downloadable report, okay? And this is the extension we talk about. I'll do probably the mastermind. I'll probably do it on video this month. Okay. Because I'm teaching more and more and more people to do video. Okay. It's a very great way to get yourself out there. And again, you don't have to do them if you don't want. You know, you can download our video. You can do a video on on an actual like Screencast-O-Matic, or your MacBook maybe might have a recording. And you just sit down and you record and you talk about Get Fearless Freedom, right? And what am I doing right here? I'm driving people to my page. Again, I'm not explaining anything. You know, I'm just driving them to my capture page. The capture page, we get unlimited capture pages, by the way, back there. Did I say unlimited? Don't go crazy, but you can have as many capture pages as you want back there and get fearless freedom. Okay. So that's the $1,000 level. And then you get the access to the monthly masterminds. You can see we have January's in there. It was a phenomenal mastermind. I thought it was phenomenal. Did anyone love it? I know I did. So you talk about content back here. Again, this is not PLR products. This is products that we create for the community. That's why Get Fearless Freedom is so different than any other opportunity. And I wanted it that way. We have December's in there. We have November's in there. We have 2 of November's in there, actually. And we have October's in there. We have September's in there. August is in there. Okay. So we started putting those underneath, even though we've done more. There's actually masterminds even underneath here. Under here, how to create a Facebook event. Very important. You know, I've made a lot of money with Facebook events, right?
Oh yeah.
Zoom masterminds, how to do a Zoom, traffic conversions. A lot of people generate a lot of leads. I did a whole hour and 20 minutes on traffic conversions. So there is so much back here. I'd say probably 50 some videos. You will always be able to find an answer back here. Specialized training, Rob's new Facebook, my solo ads, my 100K blueprint. Where do I get the actual solo ads? Here they are, right? And I talk about which ones are the best ones here. I actually rate the solo ad providers, okay? You know what's cool? I forgot to tell everybody this in the group. You know what's so cool? One of my GFF members turned into a solo ad vendor. So I actually coached a gentleman on solo ads, and now he does solo ads. So I coached him like 2 years ago. Isn't that cool, Mary Beth? I was going to tell you about that. Yeah. And I was going to share that on the Zoom here tonight. So I actually coached someone on how to drive traffic. He's like, Tammy, your capture pages convert 50 to 60%. I know Marilyn knows that because she just ran one, but I'm just like, that's so fun. When you see a student then take a whole nother angle and say, well, I'm going to do and be a solo ad vendor. So that just happened too this last week. I thought was really cool. So there's a lot of neat things that you can do within this industry. You know what I mean? And then, you know, branch out. And some people do coaching. Some people, I have one of my mentors that works Get Fearless Freedom, and he actually does coaching, you know, with Get Fearless Freedom members for his members. So, I mean, there's just a wide variety of things that you can do. But to make it simple, you earn the 200, the 500, and $1,000. The most popular level is the $1,000. Hey, Terrence, how are you? So, and the other part is the retention rate is very, very high here. Like if you're worried, if you bring in a member and you don't know what to do, don't worry about it because all the training is there. You don't have to train. So you don't have to tell them where to get the traffic. We already showed you how to do it. You don't have to show them how to get set up. We already have that techie stuff covered, and you don't have to train. So the 3 T's are already covered. Okay. And that's one thing that I wanted to cover tonight was the 3 T's. Don't have to worry about it. You just drive traffic and then you make sales. So anyone have any questions? I'll show how to use this funnel for another opportunity if anyone has one, but I try to keep it, you know, tight to just talking about Get Fearless Freedom. Anyone have any thing they want to add? Rob, Mary Beth?
Yeah, I would love to.
Okay, let's hear it.
Always love to add. Yeah, it's good to have you guys on again. It was like back to back this week, right? But yeah, I've been looking up some questions for podcasting, because that's kind of what we are gonna do a little bit
Okay.
towards the evening, a little bit here. Not burn up the clock too much because I know people have their schedule and their evening, but I just wanted to kind of ask a couple questions that I think that I may know, but it's always good to hear.
Are you gonna call your
So
mom?
I think I am gonna, yeah,
Okay.
you
All
asked
right.
me.
If
It's
anyone
always fun.
is new on here, this is my son, Rob, and I've taught him how to make money online, and he's crushing it full time with me. So you
Yeah,
can
it's
ask me
pretty awesome. It's
questions,
pretty
okay?
awesome to be in the community. I'm their tech guy, setup guy, so I do the advanced setups of GFF as well. I'm their techie guy, so most of the time I'll know most about it. I was on a Zoom today with a gentleman, and he's like, "What the? Well, you know all about that about Mac?" I'm like, I grew up on it, like I know it in and out. Apple almost hired me, so I was like, Yeah, that's one of my favorite things to do is just, help guide people through the process. It's not hard. Making money is like my mom said, it really is in the mind. That's when 7 years ago I quit my job at Verizon as a Verizon retail corporate job. And when I quit that, I was like, I can't look back, but I did for a year. And so I waited on a whole year watching my mom on Zooms. I just kept looking. I got really depressed. I lived off savings. I blew all my savings down to like $50 in the bank. And so I was like, there's no way I can do that no more. Got back in the industry in around 2019. It was so I did quit the job in 2017, but 2019 was really when I really started to see the whole thing take off with GFF. And I was like, okay, that's it. I got to do it. And even then, there was some lingerness of like, I don't know if I can do it. So I started doing it on my own, went through a lot of stuff, had Facebook software tools, I've done coding and stuff like that. And so when I see my mom get on these Zooms and how far we progressed, we've made it so easy. We've made it so like just literally plug and play. You get with your sponsor tonight, you're able to get with them, get the system, you get an email once they confirm you in. And then of course, you got them, you have myself as a setup guy, you have my mom doing the callbacks, we have the email portal, everything's click and play, everything's there. I mean, that's where, when I saw that stuff, I was like, okay, I gotta get in here. But one of the questions I had for my mom was like, let's just go look. I'm just
Don't make it too hard.
throwing here. When are you most productive, Mom?
Ah, that's a good one. At night. I love nighttime. When you were little and your dad and I had to, figure out what to do after the mortgage broker, after 9/11, after the mortgage broker business crashed, we had to, fire 22 employees, and it was a rough patch in our lives. I stayed awake, and I said, there's got to be something out there that I can do from home, because I didn't want to go back out into the workplace. I didn't want to find a job. And so I started just, making sure you guys were, taken care of during the day, homeschooled you, and I worked at night. So I'm very much a night owl. So I tell people, be easy on me in the morning because we're out west now.
Mhm. Yep.
But we get a lot of messages in the morning. So I'd say I was pretty good today though. 3 out of 3 closings. I helped people, make money today. So I was
That's
pretty good,
awesome.
wasn't I,
Yeah.
Mary Beth? It was like early in the morning for me. Yeah. But I would have to say nighttime. I love doing videos at night. I'll sit down and I'll write down on my notepad, what am I going to talk about tonight?
I noticed that.
What can I
Yeah.
do?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you
do
notice
that.
that at nighttime?
Yeah, you do that often. Yeah. See,
Nighttime.
guys, I'm doing the podcasting. I know how to podcast. I
Yeah,
watched
what's
enough
another question?
Joe Rogan stuff, and I'm joking, but I've watched enough. See, I act like I'm not her son right now. So, oh, really? Wow, at night. Is that true?
Yep.
But
Asking
yeah.
what's
So
my
if
most
you could,
favorite lead
if you
generation, probably.
that's awesome. Like if you could change anything, I've always wanted to ask this, and I want people to hear your response. But if you could change one thing about this industry right now, what would it be?
Oh, wow. Hmm. This industry, the member to member, or just
Mhm. The online home-based
home-based business.
business.
If I could change one thing, more people to come to the Zooms. Like
We
when
all want.
people, yeah, like especially with this community that I have now, because I have hundreds and hundreds of people now. And they ask me, I'll jump off of the Zoom and I'll get a text, I'll get an inbox, and I'll say, geez, we just had a Zoom. Didn't you see your email? So if I could change one thing, I would say, please, heads up when we do a Zoom or when we do a training, please try to attend. I know Chris actually on here on the upper, she's left up here to me. She's been on almost every single Zoom since she joined, for example.
Mhm.
So she's a student of the industry. She's a student
Oh
of
yeah, we appreciate her so much.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Mary
awesome.
Beth, I've known her for 8, 9, 10 years now. I lose track. Same thing with Terry, Valerie. I mean, people are always coming and they're learning and they're strategizing. And So I think that would be one thing, is if you do join into this community, to show up on Zooms, because that's one of my secrets of being a top sponsor and income earner, is that I show up and people know that I'm consistent.
Yeah, that's very true. I have seen
Is that
that. I've
sort of,
seen
that
it
doesn't
over.
really answer that, but the industry as a whole, I wish there was more transparent owners, because I can say that with tongue in cheek, just because I know a lot of people on here know what I'm talking about. But there's a lot of owners. I'm a co-owner, obviously, Rob and I, and then there's our programmer. But if they'd be more transparent, I think it wouldn't give the industry such a bad name.
I agree. I agree. I see a lot of I call it rah-rah talk. I talk about it on our Zooms on Monday,
Hmm.
where it's essentially a bunch of like nicety talk, real calming, and then what happens, and then they're in for a rude awakening when they realize that they have to connect funnels, they have to do one system that's not even within the product itself, and they have to go to another thing to connect. They
Hmm.
have to they have to do this, this, and that. And what they don't realize is like with GFF, as long as you put, the payment information page, just like I had my gentleman today that joined me for 1,000. He's like, "This is slick, Rob." I go, "Isn't it?" So
Yeah,
he put his
super, super simple to
information
set
in,
up.
he clicked continue, continue, and then it goes like click on the dashboard and it literally automatically gives the funnel link to capture the email as like, right there. So it's like I thought that was kind of cool. I was going to ask you a thing too is who do you talk to when you're feeling stuck? Like when you're feeling stuck, online. Is it dad? Is it, what I think
Um,
your rock is my dad. Our father,
yeah,
he's
he's my rock. Hmm. Yeah, he's my rock. I usually talk to, well, I have my friends on here. I talk to Terry. I do have my own mentors. I have a lady that I have a mentor. She's made 1.3 million in the last year. And I've, haven't even hardly, clipped that, you know what I mean? But I just listen to motivational videos, and I listen, and let's say I have an AWeber question. I don't have anybody to ask except for AWeber. I wouldn't go
true.
I wouldn't go to my programmer because he wouldn't know. So, I'm very resourceful.
So basically, you're like me. I go to Google and
Or YouTube
YouTube.
it.
Yeah, I mean, I personally like a lot of people think it comes off, osmosis, very easy and flowing, but like when it comes to like computer stuff, at the age of 11, I was removing viruses off of computers.
I remember
I
that.
was doing coding at just a few years ago with some software online and a lot of stuff. So when I had to learn it, I did not have a person. That's why I wanted to ask the question, who do you go to?
Okay.
Because I didn't have anyone except for Google
Yeah.
or online. So
When
I
I
think
first
that's
joined a member to member, it was when we were living in New York, and I sent off $3,500 cash.
remember that.
That I
Yeah.
responded to a USA Today ad, similar to the one that I have right here, that's running right now. So I responded to this, and I sent off the money, and he never called me. He didn't have no
Wow.
meeting Zooms. He didn't have nothing. I got a website. It was a terrible capture page, and I couldn't deal with it. I was like, man, someday when I get this thing figured out, I'm going to create and launch my own system.
I actually remember that when
Remember it?
you were actually screaming almost.
I was like mad. I
That
was like, man,
that she was like, wow. She was
well, and
mad crazy that yeah.
it was like you're getting, $3,500, but where's all the value? Like there was no
Hmm.
training back there. There was nothing about Craigslist. There was no autoresponder, obviously. We created that. There was no unlimited capture pages. There was no bridge pages to brand me. And it was a terrible funnel, and I says, oh my gosh, if this guy can make $3,500, maybe I can, you know? So, but I learned the art of traffic. I sat down and I read books. I went to Barnes and Nobles. Remember going to Barnes and Nobles
I
together?
remember that. Yeah, the trips we went, like it was basically
Theory?
always like business or real estate or, like learning about money. Like it was kind of interesting, Mom. Like we can go back and forth a little bit here, but like I've had people that have asked me, I've talked to people around, around the world, and they're always like, Robert, you talk like you talk, but what college did you go to? And I said, I didn't go to any college. and then they just immediately, they, especially people from the Bay Area and San Francisco, I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys live off of that right there. It's like, I joke with them, but I have to make that
You
joke
went through
because
the
it's
school
like
of
I've
hard knocks
noticed
with
that.
us.
I've noticed there's parts of this country that get so much like that, but I'm like, no, that is not what, that's not something that we've, like my mom, she was told she was a failure pretty much by her guidance counselor. You want to tell them about that?
Sure. Yeah, when I was in high school, 1985 is when I graduated. I make some people guess. Um, but in 1985, my guidance counselor told me that I was not going to be college material and that I, wouldn't amount to much. That was a guidance counselor. And 11 years prior to that, I had a person that would always bully me almost every day. My sister's boyfriend would told me that I was stupid. So, I just tell people that if you've been bullied or you've been told in your life that you can't do something, prove them wrong,
Yeah,
because
that's
you
the best feeling.
absolutely can. It's the best feeling when you can prove them wrong. But yeah, my guidance counselor told me that. So I think in my 10th year reunion or 15th, it was when Bob and I had made it and we had gotten our mortgage broker business established. Got our license. I drove in my Lexus into the parking lot and I met him, and I says, you know what? You don't want to be telling people that, but hey, I made it, and so
Some of the best
yeah,
people are always told that in the beginning. I've noticed, like, you have Sylvester Stallone, you've seen people like, Steve Jobs, you've had people like, I mean, you name it. They literally have been told the worst of the worst in the beginning, and that will get to anyone. I mean, I'm very strong. I'm physically
sure, it can get
strong mentally, but there was a day the other day where I'm at the gym, and there's this guy looks like I plucked his cat's toenails I mean, I don't know what I did. I mean, immediately I walked in and he like looked at me like, you want to go? And I said, I feel like telling him the grit in me is the eye of the tiger. Physically, I may not be able to beat you, but what I feel like in spirit is like you don't know a thing about me. And so with marketing, I look at is no one knows your journey, but you're there and you're on this call for a reason. And so if you can push forward and make money and make other people happy, then literally guys, just get out of your shell, because like that's why I look at people. I mean, I'm like, I walked right in and he's like, "Oh, I'm like, really? Like I'm not like this. I'm a lover, not a fighter, but I'll fight if I have to, that type of thing." So when I look at online marketing and I go, how can we improve our communities? How can we take my mom's 12 years in industry? How can you take my knowledge, her knowledge, the community's knowledge? That's why we always encourage, our listeners, how to join in on this because
I'd love to
you
have
know,
feedback. Yes, how to make this better.
mhm.
Absolutely. I'm always tweaking stuff. Tony gave me a suggestion. Guess what? I already immediately emailed the programmer. He's already working on it, and like I said, these past 3 weeks for me personally, I'm so grateful I do have this business running in the background just with family emergencies that we've had, you know. It's a grateful feeling. And that's why I wanted to do this Zoom here tonight, because I felt like I need to jump on. I need to, share with people that it's okay. You can have setbacks, you can have things that happen in your life. Just make sure that you keep going, you get back up. My grandfather was a very great influence in my life. My grandpa Dorman, my maiden name is Dorman, English. And he told me, Tammy, if you get thrown off of that pony, I used to ride horses and ponies back on the farm, you get back up.
Mhm.
You get thrown off, well, you get back up, and I think that that's the way this community is because I'll have people, coming in and then they leave for a while and then they come back in and hey, we're still here and they know it. So I think they like the solidness of not only my 12 years of experience online, but they love the fact that we do have these live Zooms and that we can have these conversations, you know. But yeah, it is a very positive community. I love it. We're changing lives. Fernand's on here. Hey, Fernand, crushing it. Just got $1,000 sale. You know, um, Bringing people in. Look at him. He's so
Very
excited.
awesome.
um,
Fernand's mine,
yeah,
so
two
it's
thousand
awesome to
dollars a
see
month. I
my
mean, that can
my
change.
guy making money. It's awesome. Love
Yeah.
it.
hmm Yeah, Rob got, we got members. Mary Beth, congratulations on your member. He just made $1,000. You know what I mean? So, 1,000, I love that number. It's a very easy number, for people to, come in and plug in, and it's great training. But, yeah, you have another question for your mom, or are you
Yeah, I love
Uh-oh,
podcasts. I
got
don't
one
know what
more.
it is, Mom. It's just my inspiring acting career coming out.
Okay.
Just kidding. You asked me that last time. They said, do you want
Yeah,
what
because I
what
interviewed Rob and now he's interviewing me.
yeah,
Anyone have any questions for me? You can type it in here. I'll
yeah,
answer.
that would be awesome. Or myself, if you have any questions, we love to do this, towards especially Wednesdays. Is it's fun.
Just type
So my
Wednesday.
question next, let's just
That's
go.
okay. He thinks it's Wednesday, but no, we're
Oh,
kidding.
I meant Thursday. I'm
Today's
sorry.
Thursday.
I was thinking, yeah, I was totally off on that. Thursday. All right. So
Gonna
if you
bring up
could
a list.
have one superpower, what would it be? I'm talking like Marvel stuff, like, hold your breath underwater, talk to animals, fly, you name it,
Hmm.
teleport.
One superpower, I'd love to read minds.
Yeah, be a good
Wouldn't
one.
that be something? Tony's like, no, I wouldn't want to.
Well, you can click it. You go like that, and then it goes on and off. I would love to have that when I'm walking into the gym, honestly, Mom, because it's like I'm Tony's laughing, but it's like it's really kind of funny. So as a single guy, so I'm walking in, and I'm just joking because it's Valentine's Day, but I walk in and there's this, cute girl, and it's like, I can't read minds. I cannot read minds. Tony knows this when he met his wife. So I'd like click a button. All right, what are you even thinking? I'm just kidding. But no, that's my humor. It's my humor. But yeah, no, it's
If there's
really
one thing, my superpower, it would be to have a lot more love in this world,
yes.
and compassion. I try to exude that, with the community. I tell people all the time, hey, love ya, you're doing a great job. To just really reach out to someone and say, hey, you're doing a good job. It's not easy out there right now. And I don't know why life has to be so hard sometimes, but just to have love and compassion. I know, and I appreciate everybody for having the patience while, I was in the hospital with Bob and stuff. But in the love and the compassion coming through, I could feel it. But if the world could be that way, it would be a
I
different world.
agree.
We wouldn't
Yeah.
be always having to hear about this kind of stuff on the news and stuff. You know what I mean? It's like, but yeah, it would be love, because love is actually one of the highest vibrations that you can be in.
It's a natural state. It's a
Grateful.
natural
Natural
state of
state.
humans and their origin. Their
Hmm.
origin of going back to innocence. So when
Just
you
because this is
have,
a home-based business doesn't mean that you have to
yeah.
be cranky, or just because we're talking about,
Mm-mm.
a lot of times people don't like to talk about money, but it's so easy to
Yeah,
like
the love
online.
vibration brought actually my sale today. So I'll explain like more.
Okay.
The gentleman reached out to me, and he's like, "Hey, Robert, this and that," and I was like explaining. I was like, I was feeling out. I was like, I totally understand what's going on. Like, and he says, "Well, I'm actually going to be moving from this location over to here. I'm keeping this paraphrased and private." So he's just like, blah 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 blah. I said, "Okay." And so I took the time and I put, actually it wasn't because I didn't even expect it. He's like, but I do see you got this going on, and I would love, because you literally took the time out of your day to explain it and type it out and voicemail me here and there.
Hmm.
I would love to. And then this morning I woke up and he says, I'm actually ready to join. I'm on your registration page. I just want to make sure that this is that. And I said, I was kind of like a little throw. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. I just talked to this guy yesterday, but he actually literally saw that I'm willing to like actually talk to this guy. And
Yeah.
so that's why we have a GFF community where it's like a ton of love, but we understand that, there's love, and then there's like actually the automation of I call it the real talk, like the real stuff in the background. So that's what I love about it. And that's where we have to always go back to, is that love and that origin where we're just being human, and we're actually knowing we're talking to another human. That's what I love about you, Mom. So, that's what I've
Good
seen
point.
throughout the whole time. And all our leaders too, I've seen that. So that's why I really like it. you
Well, and
know?
this is the thing, and this is why I tell people I'll close your sales, I'll talk to your people. That's not a problem. If you want to do it, then I'll always message you, before I call the person, because of course I'm going to take 20% of the sale. But if you want to do it and you want to close the sale, you'll make the 100%, Fernand, you didn't need any help. You closed the sale, you made 1,000, same with Tony. So, and Mary Beth. But the thing is, some people want to ease into, me closing the sales, but I'm always very empathetic because I remember what it used to be like, you know, just getting into this industry and not knowing a thing, not knowing what the heck an autoresponder is, not knowing what a sales page was. I mean, I literally didn't, you know? So that's what I wanted GFF to be about, was a learning community, a community that was very supportive of one another and that just didn't, talk a bunch of BS. You know what I mean? And so I think that's one of the things I think people like about me. I'm very relaxed when I am talking to them. They don't have to join right away. There's nothing, crazy like that going on when I'm talking to them on the phone. But and it's fun because the phone people are different than online generation.
Hmm.
See, so for me, adding this phone layer and having the callback hotline has been great. And it's like, hey, I have to use these wrinkles up here, because it's like when you're working online digitally with Facebook and things like that, it's a different kind of close because you're in Messenger and talking, or doing an email or whatever. But with the phone, you're actually talking to guys, gals 50s, 60s, 70s, because they just simply are not on Facebook. They're
I
not
noticed that always like throughout obviously her
way different.
career guys, but what I've noticed into like more like my next question was and the reason why my mom has that tonality with people and ability to talk is really my next question is like what is the biggest challenge that shaped you like today? Like was it restaurants? Was it mortgage broker, the industry change in New York laws? Like what was it that like made you how you really are? Because I see your tonality with people and I want to like put a copycat on it. Like it's amazing. Like I tell you, everyone, my mom's one of my biggest mentors ever because I just see how she's talking. So what is that challenge, Mom, that maybe I didn't know?
The challenge was thinking that we were going to be mortgage brokers forever. And when 9/11 happened, and a lot of people remember that day, knowing that those twin towers came crumbling down and then the whole New York changed, that was a pivotal point in my life when I said, man, I'm going to have some other skills besides just doing accounting for your dad. So that's when I started studying direct response marketing. I went to events. I went to Dan Kennedy events. I went to all sorts of network marketing events. I traveled to Dallas. Like I went and just devoured every book I could find on internet marketing and marketing. That's why when we give a guide and people don't read the Getting Started guide that I put 12 years into it, it blows my mind because I'm like, I condense it into a 4 or 5 page guide of all this information that I've compiled over the years. But that was the defining point, was when all of a sudden we didn't have an income coming in. And then the second defining point in my life was definitely getting kicked out of MLMs. And that's the reason why I have this GFF now, because I couldn't stand sometimes what the company owners would be doing. And I just finally said, that's it. I'm just starting my own. I got kicked out of EPX body. I don't mind saying it. I got kicked out of that. It's not even around anymore. But I was almost going to get a $10,000 check. So those pivotal. I think it's like
Right.
that kind of like fire in your belly. I call it. That gives you that fire in the belly to then just say, let's just push forward and let's just go through it. You know.
That's a good point. And like, what have you learned, like being in that field that our callers and our podcaster listeners, like, what should they know, like going forward and joining tonight? Like, because of what you've learned, and now in the present moment, what would you give them like immediate advice? Like, you could put a band-aid on it. Like, how would you be able to get them to see the light as well? Like,
Well, I mean, they can. learn as they earn, so to speak, you
Okay,
know?
right.
So I mean, if they, you know, join whatever level they want to join at and they start going through the material, they can come to the Zoom that we're going to have, you know, essentially just learn lead generation. That's all you have to do, because I'm emailing the leads, I'm calling them. There's really not much else to do except for post ads. You know, so in the mind, like, they don't have to know all the stuff of the inner workings. You know, it's kind of like I drive our truck, but I don't know like what pistons and stuff
True.
like that are firing all the time. It's the same thing here. All they got to do is, like I said, just, you know, log in and start putting their page together and then launch it within, you know, minutes. You can launch a system like this. I think that's one of the reasons why I wanted it so simple. There's other systems out there, obviously, but what I wanted is the also not always just about marketing. You know, we have the Craigslist auto reply software. We have the side gig hustles back there. Teaches people how to do the auction business even. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. But I think that's what we wanted it to be. It was more of a, you know, not just all about the levels, but also to create that financial freedom that they deserve. And honestly, everybody deserves it. So that's what I would be saying to people that are sitting here listening and haven't joined yet, is that, you know, I'm not going anywhere. We have a huge, you know, community that, you know, you're seeing here, and it's working for people, you
So
know.
that brings me to my final question. What is next for you, Mom? What is next? Like, what are you up to cooking that you
Well,
can
I'm
like
gonna
lightly talk about?
I'll probably put another level in, possibly a 2000 level, to answer your question, David. It's very, very hard to program. My programmer, it takes him 3 to 4 months to do it. And you want to know why? It's because the system is not hosted on a WordPress. It's not hosted on ClickFunnels. It's not hosted on any of those
Built
platforms.
from the ground up.
It's built from the ground up. So when you look at this back here and you see the supreme level, that's the 1000. Then he has to code in here. He can't just do a little widget or a little button. He actually has to code line by line, because I've asked him. He has to program it right down here. Okay, so that's the next level, but that's what I'm working on. Is either that or another front end funnel for Give Fearless Freedom.
That'd be amazing.
Those are two things.
Yeah.
I'm always working on something else, for everybody. And then I would like feedback. Like, you know, what would you want me to train on this month? Like when we're gonna have our meeting, not next week, or maybe it will be next week. What do you want me to train on? Because I want feedback on what you want. So you can start giving me some suggestions here tonight. So, Mary Beth, what would you like me to train on? Because I know you get your members to, you know, you get questions and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a really good question, Tammy. Probably some form of traffic and lead generation,
Mm-hmm.
since that's what the members are going to, have to that's going to be their role when they come into this, because everything else is literally handled for them. From the follow-up, I mean, the telling, selling, explaining, that's all covered between the automated system and then now your new feature that you recently implemented, which I just absolutely love. I think that hotline number and the fact that, you're closing sales through Facebook, through Messenger, and then by phone, I think that's absolutely amazing how you've, branched out to do that. I think that's going to be highly valuable for all the new members, because that seems to be like it's an obstacle for a lot of people, especially like new people coming in, having being concerned about having to close sales. So nobody has to talk to anybody, because the automated system is extremely, extremely powerful. If somebody, takes their time and goes through that 7-minute video, and then, you tag them in the group and they can watch a replay, that pretty much seals the deal for most people. It really does. And for those that very small percentage that it doesn't, the fact that you have that, call center type feature, style feature where you're able to, call people back, the call back and that 800 number. I think that's absolutely amazing. I think that's going to be a real game changer this year for people. I really do. I think it's going to set a lot of people free. And I just love that $1,000 level. I mean, there's just tremendous, tremendous value in that, supreme level. That was, I think, the best business decision you made, Tammy, last year when you launched that. It really is. Because you only need, like you mentioned earlier tonight, $10,000 a month seems to be a good running number for most people. You only need 10 of those. And it's with the way your system works now. I mean, it's powerful. It's automated. It's just it converts extremely well. 10 sales a month might sound like a lot to the average person, but it really isn't. That's only like, 2 a week, and then add on another 2 here,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
throughout the
all
month.
I had to do was generate leads, and that's all I had to do during the day. I'd be 50,
Yeah, with all your features,
$100.
I mean, I love, like, how I love that email portal, that done for you email portal. Those emails are extremely compelling. Those work extremely well too in closing people.
Yeah.
Between the 7-minute video, the emails, now your new, hotline number. It's just amazing. Then, we get to invite our prospects and our leads to these Monday webinars. That's another highly effective sales and closing tool. So, I mean, the system, has everything that anybody could ever want or need for success. So I would just say probably some more ideas, just maybe integrate like the traffic and lead generation strategies.
Okay. Yeah,
And you can decide, which one or which ones you want to focus on.
okay. Yeah, I'll do a summary. I'll pick out 2. We'll do we've done Craigslist because that one's we did that for January. So the Craigslist one is in the Supreme area for everybody. So if you have a member and they signed up and they're wondering, well, where do I start? Well, obviously you want to, lead them back there and say, hey, I would say to people, video and solo ads. I'll do video and solo ads.
Yeah, you know what, Tammy, that sounds like an excellent approach. Yeah, those 2 are, I think,
those 2 combinations, and then I'll show you guys my advanced email strategy of what I do with my video and how I bring it into my Aweber, and then I do a blast. Has anyone ever seen that strategy?
That works very well, Tammy. That's a highly effective strategy right there. It really is, because it helps to expedite and build that know, like, and trust, and it definitely catapults the conversions, no doubt about it.
It does.
It definitely catapults the conversions. So that's extremely, extremely powerful.
Yeah.
So I think that would be great.
Because when you think about like the solo ads, Mary Beth, that we run, and of course I was talking about the gentleman that I taught, and now he's doing solo ads, vendor. What you're doing is you're taking a cold lead that don't even know you from Adam or Eve, and then you're sending them an email with your video in it, and you pull it through with Aweber. I'll show you guys exactly how to do it. I've done it before. I did it last year, but it's so effective. So yes, my emails are assisting. And by the way, it's not a daily email, even though I do them daily. Like, it's in the back office, it'll say I'm assisting with your emails and follow-ups, but that's my advanced strategy. And that's how I make multiple 6 figures a year, honestly, is when people see that. They get my email. I'll pull one up. They get my email, one of my emails, right? This is one of my members. This is through the standard portal, okay? But if you see, whenever, like, you see some of my, let's see, this is one that I sent out for Terry. Let's see. These are, well, Tony knows how to do a lot of these too on here. Let me see if I can find one. Well, I'll save it for the training. But essentially what you're doing is you're, doing a video. This is, again, who wants to make 6 figures this year? If you only want to make $400, this isn't the Zoom for you. If you want to literally make 6 figures this year, then be on the next Zoom. Because I'm telling you, these are the strategies that most people they didn't teach me. I had to learn it on my own, So if you want to learn it, I like to do group sessions of 10 to 20, on these Zooms. We'll probably have more than that. But yeah, that's what you do too, Mary Beth, is you literally follow what I teach, and then I learn from you too. And that's the beautiful part about it.
Yeah, it works out really well, Tammy. Those are excellent strategies. I would just put those on your, on your list.
Okay.
To-do list for the
training.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do.
I think that's going to provide people with the most success and the best results in the shortest amount of time if you focus on those. No doubt about it.
Absolutely.
It's like those ones that have been always working. It seems they never change.
They never change.
Though, like, with like social media, algorithms are always changing. But YouTube is, I mean, some different things do change, like with algorithms, but YouTube is still extremely, video marketing, YouTube is extremely powerful and very effective. And then solo ads is probably the fastest way to build the email list. And like they say, the money's in the list. And then that strategy to integrate your video to take them on that journey to build a know, like, and trust. I mean, I think that's everything right there.
Yeah, and I always ask, you know, like I said, this is my email, this is my admin portal. So these are the sales I see coming in. And I always say, see, these are all buyers. These are all, when it says buyer, that means it's a member. It's a member that's duplicating, you know? So this is mine. Oh, wow. Tammy got one little, you know, here and there, but everything, because I'm helping you guys. I've kind of retired my hat, so to speak, and I'm helping you guys close the sales. See? And that's the beautiful part, you know, because I know exactly. So, but yeah, these are what I see coming in. Oopsie. Sorry, Tony. Didn't mean to share that. But sorry about that. It was his $1,000 sale. But yeah, that's what you see. And then I'll reach out to the person. Hey, did you get paid? Yes, I got paid. I marked her. Okay, good. Now she's got access. See, that's how simple. So that's why I said this business can be run with or without you around. Oh, I did have a member though that I was trying to get a hold of, and like they didn't get back to me. I had to call him. I had to like hunt him down saying, you got a sale coming in. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah, you gotta check your messenger. But anyway, yeah, always make sure, you know, if you are, when you do sign up, make sure you give me a good contact number, because I will reach out to you. It's kind of funny to hear some of the response lately though, Mary Beth. They're like, oh, you're the owner? Oh, you're talking to me? Oh my gosh, you know? So I do
Yeah.
like, you know?
Yeah, it works really well.
Mhm.
And like the video stuff works extremely well too, because people really appreciate transparency.
Mhm.
Because as you know, Tammy, there's so much junk out there and people are getting taken, and
Yep.
they really are. They're buying into things, and their investments, I mean, they just go down the tubes real quick because there's just nothing there. There just really isn't. There's
Yep.
no support. The back offices are almost like, you know, skeleton closets, as you probably know, you know. A
Yep.
lot of them do. They don't have training back there. They don't have the right resources. The resources aren't up to date. They don't work. You know, people buy that traffic and it's just junk. It's just, you know, crickets. And then people are wasting hundreds, if not thousands of dollars.
Yeah. Yeah, no, solo ads work. It's because I email
Mhm.
everybody's leads,
Yep.
but there's
Mhm.
one reason why a lot of people never had success with solo ads is because they stopped emailing them.
Exactly.
Stopped
Exactly.
emailing them. And then they stopped, you know, doing Zooms or whatever. We've been doing Zooms for a whole year ever since we relaunched this, you know. And even prior to that, I was doing Zooms last year. Anyone else have any other good? Yeah, the Bob, yeah, and so Bob, all you gotta do too is if you want to do the solo ad training right now, just go into the back office. It's right here. Right here. Under resources, right here is one. And then here's one. And then this is my vendor. Right here, you just click the link. It's in the back office. It's also in the getting started guide. So I have training, training upon training. We have the getting started, but it's real simple to create a page. I'll show it for the new people on here real quickly. Create a page. Okay, countdown. Time me. Just created it. There's your page. There's the little green button right there. And that's the highest converting page. I wish the person that asked me about that today was on here tonight. I don't see her. But yeah. And then to set up a campaign, you just go to new campaign. Today's Thursday. We would just set it up for the 15th. So I'm going to be running solo ads tomorrow. And I put the 15th, say you want to keep track of it. All right. So let me put the one in here. It would do like this one. I'm going to get a 50% opt-in rate with this page. I already know it. Before I even launch this, I already know I'm going to get 50% of, let's say 100 visitors, 50 people are going to go on my list. Okay. And then of course I put it on my list and then I redirect it to my bridge page, which I have a bunch of people's bridge pages, but anyway, this is where it would go. I got to put mine in there. Sorry, Kevin, I'm not going to put yours. Right, like that. Create it. We should do another challenge. Let's do $1,000 GFF. Select a category, and now you're saved. So because I do this as a profession and I like to keep track of what works, I put it in different categories. So there's a USA Today one, and there's the one I just created. So I have categories lined up. That's the reason why this works so well. Is for me is because I'm tracking my ads and what works. See? So yeah, you always want to track. Other questions? We're going to wrap it up. David, you can actually unmute and I'll answer you instead of the direct message. I don't mind you asking it out loud.
No, I know we can go to your solo ad providers that you recommend, but then you also do solo ads yourself. You'll run for us. So what's the advantage of having you running it? And is it more expensive or less?
About the same. The advantage, I usually do it for a person that's never run one before because they have no clue of what capture page works. Even though there's extensive training, most of the time men won't read. Not teasing.
I caught again.
I have to say that sometimes. I'm like, guys, you got to start sitting down and reading. You're about ready to pull us women our hair out. No, it's because like I want to make sure your funnel's, set up correctly. Believe it or not, some people do not put the done for you back there. They don't click it. Even though it says it right here, they won't set up their done for you. So I'd rather, run their first traffic run. Besides the fact that for 100 clicks, you can run through me for $75. That's pretty cheap. Yeah. So it's like your, first one. But no, men and women, I just joke. I like to tease Dave. But yeah, that's what you would do. Make sure it's set up. That's all. There's two things you have to make sure is set up. That it's clicked here, and then that your actual autoresponder is set up right here. Those are two things, but it has the steps. But that's the advantage, is that I'm going to give you the white glove, after Rob. I'm going to help you get that up and running. That's one of the biggest things that I was taught when I started, was when my mentor taught me, they said, get your member leads fast. Like if you want them to believe that this works right away, right? So you get them leads onto their list right away. That was one of the things I forgot to tell. That's a good one right there. But if you're running through Udemy or anything like that, or through me, it's going to be good traffic. I've had some people run terrible traffic and I don't know where they got it. It actually slowed the whole membership down. I had to tell the guy, I had to tell the member, what are you doing? I had another member last week while I was in the hospital sitting there pitching my members for some traffic deal. I mean, it's crazy sometimes. So yeah, so read the getting started guide. It says it right in there where to go for traffic, or if you want me to do it. But Dave, you're already up and running. You can go right direct to Udemy. Just go to their traffic and look at the 3 providers that I have in there. Good question. Anyone that's not a member have any questions yet tonight? We'll be training on solo ad is very easy. It's a great way to build your list. And again, the traffic conversion through there is a good way as well. Will, did you have is it Lee you go by, or Will do you go by? Because I'm confused, because I'll call you Lee and then Will. And do you have any questions? I've seen a couple admin emails. And Tony, do you got anything final words to say to everybody? Your wisdom tonight.
Well, what I can say, Tammy, is we've known each other for a long time, and a few people here have known for a long time, and you're here, you're consistent. That it's not just your results, it's members' results, which speaks volumes. A lot of things that you've said tonight about other offers and opportunities. I mean, there's some offers out there, you don't even know who the owner is. There's no community. There's just, if you're lucky to have a good sponsor, then you get support there, but sometimes you don't and you're on your own. But everything that we have here, I mean, that's one of the reasons why I'm here, is because you care for the new person, and it shows, because your time is valuable. And even what you said tonight, that you've kind of retired yourself from making sales and just helping other people make sales. It just shows that you're not in it just for the money. You're where you're making a difference, and it shows. So that I just want to share. That's, that's why I'm here.
That's awesome. Yeah, I get a charge out of it when I see a new person make sales. When I had Mary Beth's new guy, Eric, he's like, I got the money. Like he shouted in my messenger.
Oh yeah, I was ecstatic. I was so excited when I seen that
He didn't
post in
even
the
tell
group.
me how.
It was
He just,
amazing.
yeah.
Yeah, 'cause he was pretty much a newbie. I
Yeah,
don't think
he's
he
brand new.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he didn't
He
have
set
any
up the
help.
funnel himself, or did Rob do him? I can't remember. Rob.
Rob did. Yes, Rob did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rob
He
did
had
it.
no, I don't think he has any social media
No.
following, no
No.
email list, nothing. Absolutely nothing. That
No.
is just absolutely remarkable.
I
I was
know.
so excited to see that.
Yeah.
Because I know
I
he
think
really wanted
posted
to.
one ad or something, and I
He
was
did,
like,
yeah. Yeah, it
that's when I know
happened
my
very,
system.
very quick for him. Very quick, yeah.
Doesn't that make you feel good as a mentor at all?
It does, because I knew he was the one I was telling you about. He really wanted, he needed and wanted the success, and it happened for him. So that was just a very nice blessing. It really was.
Yeah. And that's what we try to do. We try to get people to take action right away so that they can get their money back right away. And then now they're in profit after their second sale. You know what I mean? Or,
Yeah, after the
profit.
second, yeah, after the first, yeah, they break even, and then it's
Mhm.
pure profit after that.
Yeah. And it's so easy to do. But yeah, he doesn't have a social media following. He doesn't
No,
have
he doesn't.
no
No,
real Facebook,
no, because I asked him if he was on Facebook. He said yes, because we connected as friends, and I was trying to help him. We were, connecting that way and going back and forth. And no, I looked at his Facebook, and you could tell it was not a seasoned account, So it was really, really amazing when that happened for him.
Yeah. That's why I love the system, because you don't have to know,
No,
you don't have to know anything except for drive.
no, you don't. You don't.
Yeah. It's not like network marketing where they gotta trust you and build the downline and all this kind of stuff. No, it's like so plug and play. You can be a brand newbie,
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Yeah, me
That's why I said
too.
the members start making it's like, oh, okay, now my coaches are like, yes, like it gives you that belief that, okay, these, when I make the sale that, our members are gonna make sales. So that's when I started really realizing that I love coaching. When I heard that. And that's why it's a passion of mine. I just love when people make money with this. That's why I created it. You know what I mean? I created it to change families' lives because of what I went through, back then. And just the decades of, blood, sweat, and tears, and then having my own system now but yeah, I'm going to try to push my programmer to get that 2000 level. I know there's people that actually have lost some sales because they don't have a 2000 level, but I don't know. I just think that because of automation and we're getting these automated sales so easy sometimes without even talking to anyone. I don't know. I just don't want to change anything. You know how when something's working so well, you just don't want to change it. But David, I'll take your other 1,000 if you want the 2000 level. I won't turn down your 1,000.
I'll give it to you. I like giving you money.
Yeah, I noticed. Yeah, I don't mind it. That's funny. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and end the recording. And I didn't realize we were